Okay.
Growing up in middle-class society and graduating from Olentangy, an esteemed public school, I was convinced as a senior in high school that I would go to OSU as a pre-medicine major for 4 years and then on to their medical school program. I got straight A's, a 30 on my ACT, and was determined to make this happen. Throughout my whole life, I have battled with anxiety, set off by when things don't go my way. And to my surprise, my high school sweetheart, right before I left for school, dumped me for another girl and left me heartbroken. I was inconsolable, focused only on getting him back and not on my classes. Withdrawing from OSU and moving home was one of the hardest things that I've ever had to do. This was 4 years ago. Today I'm thriving and doing better than ever and determined to succeed my goal to become a veterinarian. As a child, I would read animal encyclopedias, I would spend lots of time with my childhood pets, and I loved watching Animal Planet. Adopting a puppy, Cosmo, I spend a lot of time with him and enjoy training him a lot. Cosmo, come. Right, Cosmo, sit. Good boy. This is Cosmo, he's 9 months old. Now looking back, becoming a vet should have been my initial path all along. Since graduating high school, I've changed my major, trying to balance work full-time and going to school full-time, moving and raising a puppy. Throughout these challenges, I've grown as a person and found my calling in life. Withdrawing from OSU and going to Columbus State ended up being one of the best decisions I ever made in my life. At Columbus State, I got to experience college without the anxiety of having hundreds of people in my classes. Columbus State provides a more personal learning environment where you can ask your professor questions more easy and get to know them. At Columbus State, I switched to nursing, then to business, then on to my Associates of Science degree. This semester, I'll petition to graduate with my Associates of Science, and I want to transfer to OSU to continue with pre-veterinary classes and apply for their vet program. Although I decided to switch my major multiple times, in the end, I found my calling in life and made steps towards success. Now considering I made the decision to switch my major for the good of my future and happiness, I want to talk about how I overcame the challenge of everyday life. After leaving OSU, I got back together and moved in with my high school sweetheart, which did not end up good. Eventually, I dragged my mind and heart out of an emotionally abusive relationship. I moved back in with my stepdad and took some time off school and worked 2 jobs. I ended up pulling myself up by my bootstraps and signed a lease for my own apartment. By moving to a place I could truly call home, I became very motivated to succeed. I excelled in my career and got promoted. I found someone who truly loves me and gave me a healthy relationship. I adopted 2 cats and a puppy, and I re-enrolled in classes at Columbus State. Over the past 2 years, I have finished all the courses I need for my Associates of Science. I faced the challenges of changing schools and majors and moving around, but the greatest challenge to me was working full-time and going to school full-time. After moving home, I continued with my high school job at Donato's Pizza. As I was their best employee in high school, I was finally of age to become a manager. I excelled at this career and got promoted to be their assistant general manager. Although this was good for me financially, as I supported myself, it took a lot of dedication to be able to take online classes and do well in them. It started out rough, but by trial and error, I ended up manipulating my work schedule in order to have 3 days off a week to have ample time to do well in my classes. So in conclusion, overcoming changing schools, working full-time, and moving around led me to the best place I've ever been in my entire life. Throughout these experiences, I've changed as a person and become more focused in what I want to do. I'm dedicated to being accepted into OSU's veterinary school and pursuing this as a lifelong career. I'm excited for the new learning experiences and opportunities that I will be presented with. I've already learned so much about myself and covered many topics in school. And I know that all my hard work in school and my job will pay off. After adopting 2 cats and a puppy, this is Mickey, this is Minnie, and Cosmo, they have made me realize my true calling in life. As A.D. Williams states, when I look into the eyes of an animal, I do not see an animal. I see a living being, I see a friend, and I feel a soul. This beautifully expresses my feelings toward the animals and my desire to help in any way I can. I plan to dedicate all my free time to volunteering at shelters, and I'm on the right path to become a veterinarian. This is the most prideful realization that I've made in my entire life, and nothing will stop me from achieving this goal.